This media is brought to you by Polyscope.
In the realm of tomorrow, where techniques mind, we ponder, we dream.
Good morning, everyone. It's ThinkFuture 1093. My name is Chris Kalabukas. Thanks for joining us. So, on previous episodes, I've talked for a really long time. In fact, this is one of my themes throughout my show. From the very beginning, 10 plus years ago when I first started this, was that life is change. And that life is, if life is change, because everything around us is changing all the time, then we should learn to not fear change. Because this is one of the things that human beings do. Human beings fear change. We don't like it when things change. We like things to stay static. Remember I talked about the steady state, the concept of a steady state? We love a steady state. We like it when things are orderly, not chaotic. But the reality is that nature, the world, the universe, everything else around us is chaotic. There's no order in the universe. It's all chaos. There's some things that appear to be orderly, but it's all chaos. And this civilization that we have is a thin veneer over this chaos. And when things change, we hate that. We're afraid of change. We don't like change. We push back against change. Except for when we're trying to change ourselves, right? I mean, all of us probably could use some improving. All of us, almost every single person who is watching this show or listening to the podcast is probably has something that they want to work on. There's something about themselves that they don't like. Either their weight or they have a habit or whatever. There's something about themselves that they don't like. They want to change. They're trying to change. But the reality is, changing ourselves is impossible. Wait, I take that back. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's improbable. It's very, very difficult for you personally to change. And part of it is because we have that veneer of order that we like to attach to ourselves. It's something to do with our personality, right? I mean, I say this in previous shows, how we can, at any point in time, if we want to, wake up tomorrow morning and be a completely different person. We can act like a completely different person. But everything around us, or everybody around us, or everybody who knows us will say, "What the hell is wrong with you, Chris? You are not acting like yourself." But what is the concept of yourself? The concept of yourself can change from day in to day out. But the difficulty is in your interrelationships with others, is where people look at you and they go, "You're not the same person as you were yesterday." No, I'm not. I'm not the same person. And I'm either slightly different or I'm very different. And the very different is the thing that freaks people out because they fear change. So that's one of the reasons why change is not impossible, but it is improbable, because we are caught in a world and a network and a socially interconnected world where people see you as you are today. And even if you wanted to change yourself into something completely different tomorrow, it's very, very difficult to get other people to see you as a different person. I'll give you an example. Let's say you go work for a company, right? You work for a company and you do an amazing job for this company. People will see you as the person doing the amazing job for that company in that role. So when a new role comes along that you'd like to get into, people might say, "Well, you're doing such an amazing job in the role that you're in." They see you as the epitome of the person for that role. So they do not want to promote you to other roles. I know this has happened to a number of people who I know. They don't want to promote you to those other roles because you're doing such a great job in the role you're in. You almost have to not do such a great job so that they know, "Whoa, we got to kick this guy upstairs or give him a completely different position because he's not doing such a great job. He's not such a perfect fit in the role that he's in." And this is what we are like for everyone. We have a specific personality that we've built over time, no matter how old you are. And this is what people expect from you. And if you want to make wholesale major changes to yourself, or what you're doing, or your body, or your weight, or the way you are, or your personality, it's almost impossible to do that easily, because the web of interconnections that you have with other people makes it almost impossible to change without them going, wait a minute, you're a different person. I don't like you anymore. Well, maybe it's not that I don't like you anymore. It's just you're a different person, and I don't like different. I don't like change. Everybody in the world hates change. So maybe you are willing to change yourself. Maybe you want to change yourself. Maybe you have a drive to change yourself, a real strong drive to change yourself. But unless you can get buy-in from everybody around you or cut ties with everybody around you, then it's almost impossible to make that happen. Sorry, not impossible, improbable. So change is inevitable. Change occurs around you all the time. Nature is a thin veneer of order over chaos. But when it comes to you, when it comes to what people expect from you, when it comes to the personality of you, it's almost impossible or improbable for you to be able to change yourself in such a way that it's palpable to other people. So that's why it's so difficult to change. And it's not because you can't change yourself. You, if you were living on your own in the middle of nowhere on a homestead somewhere, and you decided you wanted to be a completely different person the next day because you didn't have any interconnections with other people, you would easily be able to become someone completely different. But since we're all in this social web, it's almost impossible for us, improbable for us, to be able to change. But it can still happen. You just have to make sure that you get buy-in from everyone around you to understand that I'm going through the process of becoming a completely different person now. And I can change myself, because change is the order of the universe. Life is change, and I just want to ride that change to become a different person. I become a better person, become a better human being. Because we all have ambitions, right? We all want to work on ourselves. We all want to do better than we've been before. We all want to be at least 1% better than we were yesterday, because that's the only person we should be comparing ourselves to, whoever we were in the past, whoever we were yesterday. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.
Pixels and philosophies merge and mold, a future untold, unseen.